Jerry, what's that? Jerry and Cliff did it last time, so actually it's Mike's turn. Yeah, Mike, you're gonna do Act 1. Did Gary turn that on? Is that on? Can you tell?
It's red.
Is that what red means?
Yeah, it's on.
Red means stop.
No, green means it's not recording. Red is.
Doesn't make sense. Okay. Evening, we have two hearings tonight. We'll begin. A public hearing before the ZBA of the Town of Sullivan will be held May 12th to consider the application of Mary Driscoll, SBL 5.83-2-61 for property located at 2705 Burlington Road for an area variance to have a shed constructed within 10 feet of the side yard. Persons wishing to prepare such a hearing may do so by person, attorney, or other representative. Now, Mary is not here tonight. Mary is not here. She we'll have the public hearing. I suggest that we keep the public hearing open and just continue it next month when she will be here. Is there anybody here to speak for or against this application for Mary?
Fulton Road.
So she wants to build a shed, I think 3 feet from the side lot, but she was not able to make it here. There is some concern in the neighborhood, and that person really couldn't make it here tonight. So, like I said, I suggest that we continue this hearing next month. So I'm looking for a motion.
I make a motion to table the next month.
I'll move that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
That's
so
for
we will continue this hearing next month. Our second hearing, a public hearing before the ZBA of the Town of Sullivan will be held May 12th at the Town of Sullivan Office Building to consider the application of Barbara Ains, excuse me?
Egan's.
It's for property located at 11.24-1-32 for property located on Coulter Cove for an area variance requesting 25 feet of relief from required zoning law. The above application is open for inspection at the Town of Sullivan Office Building during regular business hours. Persons wishing to appear at such a hearing may do so by person, attorney, or other representative. Barbara, if you'd like to come up here and tell us what you got planned.
Well, you have the plans in front of me, I think. We bought a nice little piece of land and we'd like to build a lake house. And the way the lot is situated, we can't really have a garage unless we come a little closer to the road. In keeping with at least probably 14 or 15 homes on the street, it would be about the same distance.
From the road.
Yes.
Can we, Mike or Larry, can we bring this up on?
Oh, this is it.
That's what this is.
Okay.
That's the picture.
All right.
This is the lot right here.
Yep. And
And
how far, where,
Larry, help me understand. What are the black lines here? That's
The
property
black,
line?
the black lines are the attempt by the county to plot property lines,
Okay,
and they're not 100%, just a basic idea. But the red arrow is where the vacant lot is that she wants to do it.
okay.
Mind if I hover
Sure.
over you?
Sure.
And unbeknownst to me, when she applied for the variance, I had no idea that there was a front yard built setback that was so far off the water.
Yeah.
And I think that was the reason,
Right.
you know,
That's why all the houses are in a row.
correct.
Yeah, that's a
Because
deed-
they were
that's a
following
deeded
the front
covenant.
setback, you're saying?
The lakeside, there's a
Right.
lakeside.
Is the front,
setback.
but you're saying
80
lakeside full
It's
roofs?
just only 80 feet to get a house and a garage.
So that's why all those houses are all lined up right on that setback line.
Yeah, and that's,
And I live next door, so if you have any questions, let me know.
Yeah, we'll,
I'm
we'll,
sorry, I didn't even That's okay, I didn't even realize either.
we'll give you an opportunity in a second.
Yeah,
Oh,
but in
great.
case you have questions,
Yep.
let me know.
Are you the blue roof?
Yes.
So how much closer to the road are you gonna be than the shed on the blue roof property?
I thought it was about 15.
Because from what I'm seeing,
Not instead
if
of
you look
30,
at
it was
this, he's
15.
already
I
on the property
understood.
line.
well, that's why Larry said this property line is an estimated attempt by the mapping department of the county, so it's not a perfect thing.
Right.
But the question that I have is, if this structure is already this close.
Yes.
But if you look at this picture, and I don't see where the distance is indicated from house to here. If this is the actual parcel line,
It looks like 4.5 feet to the road, to the pin, not necessarily the pavement, but the pin.
are you going over the existing pavement?
It's on my property, I believe.
What is that shadow?
I think it's close on the, it only looks like it would be 5. I'm sorry, my ignorance. Now, the architect did this, and he told me that it would be about 15 feet from the road, but if you're looking at this line, it's like 5 feet.
Right.
I mean, setback was 30 feet, if I understand correctly, from the edge of the road.
Looks like you're 15 feet from the center of the road.
Mike, here, this little number right here,
Right?
that's,
I
right
thought-
there. Yeah,
I have to call the slope of it.
4 feet 5 inches is the way I'm reading it.
That's not
Yeah, but
my
what-
understanding. My understanding was like 15 feet. I don't have the plans in front of me. I mean, that's too close.
Probably,
I've got a 19 feet 10 inches.
probably
Okay.
because the pin is 4'5", but then the road is an additional footage before the pavement, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right away.
Yeah.
Can I- Is it staked?
That's
Yes,
25
the,
So she's looking for.
yes, the survey staked. Is the
Encroaching.
house
No,
plan?
Have you had anybody
But
state
at the
where
same
this is
time,
proposing to go?
She'll be.
So can I make a
10 feet
suggestion?
off the road.
That for this one, because you are dealing with public safety with cars, it's not like she's down at the end. I think part of the reason
19
that we might have let the one do it down at the end was because we
Which is where
said
she gets the
you're
15
affecting
feet that she was just
two
talking
cars
about
driving
for
past, so
her
it's not gonna be traffic.
This
This is
almost
right on the
edge
edge
of the road.
Every car going to every other house.
I'm down there.
That's how we concern.
So why don't we
So
have
you
her
get, so
state
here's
it,
your, so here's where you
and we
got
all
your
commit to
15-foot
making a
idea.
drive out there in the next
From the
month, so
overhead.
that we can see
Nice drive.
where it's gonna be.
From your setback.
And make it-
Which is
make a more
19
informed decision,
from the
because
road. So that's
these
where
line-
you
none
got
of these lines are
15
gonna tell
feet
you
from
where
the
we're
road.
at.
You would
Right.
back still the distance.
I will, yeah, all right. So then this is, I don't know if they understand.
Right.
Yeah, we bought it,
Our
we're gonna have to.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
Yeah.
I saw
14,
that.
it's 15.
Which means, so on the upside,
Which-
you're gonna have all of this
Okay,
space.
so I understood that correctly
And
then.
that's the
4
issue
foot
that
back
we run into
from the-
before.
From the
But
setback, which is
as
what
close as
everybody
it
else
is to that
Okay.
turn,
is wrong.
All right, so
They'd
if you
be
would,
pulling out blind to
we'll
watch.
see
cars come
where
up.
I'm at.
So it's worth seeing how far back.
That was also a side entry garage.
Right.
If you look
Coming
at
in this
that,
way.
4 feet from the
Yeah.
road.
they get it coming in.
No.
Yeah,
19 feet,
uh-huh.
10 inches.
Yeah, so it's about 10 feet difference, roughly, of what was a 30 feet, 21 feet.
So
I'll
I
get to your point in a minute, Mike.
okay, so I make a motion that we table.
Is there anybody here to speak for or against this application? If so, please stand and state your concern.
I'll stand and state concerned, so.
And
it's
you're the
not-
house right next to it.
Correct.
And your name is?
Dave Robbins, 2485.
It'll be a lot when the name's, house is in my name.
Correct. I guess, just looking for clarification, because the note that we received is rather confusing to understand what the leniency is. From what I understand in town code, is you can build within 30 feet I think it's asking for 5 feet forgiven, so 25 feet from the road.
Or is it 25 feet for difference? I guess
I believe they're seeking 25 feet of relief.
Of relief,
Oh,
so
okay.
5 feet from the road.
Right.
No.
No,
No.
not accurate.
That's what I read,
Property line.
that's why we're here, that
We
was the main
we
concern.
always talk in the language of front property line.
Could you show it to us like visually?
And
That might help.
I'm
So
confused where the road would start too,
No.
so that's within question
So
as
you,
well.
so you see the line, how everybody is generally on the same
Yes.
setback.
This is our property here.
Right. So that is this line right here, that's the setback. So she would be 4.5 feet on the overhang, so 5 feet back from that setback right there. But the real, from your concern, from the road, she's 1910 from the road. Okay. So it's 4 feet from this setback that's already off the road, 1910 back from the road.
So saying the road is here, it's 1910 back from the road.
Correct.
I understand.
Oh, yeah.
So
I would
this,
not gotten
so this line here is what is supposed to, so when we bought this home 3 years ago, looks like the home was within code, this movable shed, which was put there.
Don't take these lines they're as close a representation as the county could put together. These are not hard and fast. These
Yeah,
are-
because that wouldn't be, because that would say their property line is directly on our house.
Right. So, but it,
So that's kind of hard to go off
but,
of, right?
but it gives us the general idea.
Not
of-
really.
but where the setback is. No, because
If you can't go by this, then how can we go by this?
So here's the.
So I'd have to measure to know in actuality.
And this is why Mike suggested that
Mike's
we
got a good
table it
suggestion.
and we get a stake, so we
Able
know.
to get it stated.
Yeah.
We, grant something that's consistent with the neighborhood, we don't usually have a problem with, but if it's sticking it out 20 feet beyond your houses, that.
I
would
don't
be
understand, the
very
plan,
difficult.
the numbers aren't clear in the plan, I mean, all the measurements are there.
So,
Nothing
the-
seems
we-
confusing.
so in this
Well,
instance, the question of where the road ends and where it actually ends in real life are very often two different things. So on your survey, and when we look at this on the survey and it says that this is the edge of the road and this says it's 19 feet back, that sounds great. But if the actual edge of the road that they're actually going to measure off of is crept or is closer to where the build's going to be, in other words, the physical structure is actually going to be closer to the road than those 19 feet, we'd like to be able to see that and make a
Of course, the
determination.
survey doesn't say where the edge of the road, it's a survey.
I understand that it's a survey, but the survey is going based on the pins and terminology here, pins, rods, whatever. It's going based on that, and sometimes the reality when you stand there doesn't match what's put onto a survey map. So because this is an issue of being able to pull out safely, cars coming around the corner for every other house in the street,
Most
we
definitely.
want to make sure that the visibility that you're going to have and the drivers are going to have is not going to be unsafe. And looking at these two different maps doesn't really display that well. So
I'm sorry, this black line is representation of the edge of the road, is that? No.
It's an arbitrary line, the best they could come up with.
Or,
That's your front, what would be your backyard property line, the roadside property line.
I mean, that brings a great question and point, because where the road is, there's actually dirt next to the road too,
that extends.
that extends. So it's hard to say where actually the road starts and begins.
Like
Well,
even on your survey, it says edge of pavement, but then another, and it's not labeled for what this distance is. I'm going to guess it's around 14 to 15 feet. It says northerly highway boundary for Culture Cove Road. So it's listing essentially, I think it's the edge of the pavement and then maybe the edge of right of way, and those are two different things. So what I want to see, can't speak for everybody, but I'd like to see standing. I'll drive out, take the time to drive out and look and see. Compared to where people are driving their cars, I don't care about the right of way and the pavement. Compared to where people are driving their cars, how far back is the edge of the structure going to be? And if I come out and see stakes in the ground where I can go, that's a safe distance. It's closer than 30 feet, but that's not going to be a problem. We're good. Or if it doesn't match what I expect is it's trying to show here, and it's actually close enough to where people are driving that it's not safe, then we've got to have a different conversation in a month.
I have a question or a comment. The wooden rail fence that's across the property there now.
yes,
Is that where the edge of your garage would be?
I can't tell you that, I'm sorry. The architect and the surveyor, they worked it all out, and
And we need,
I
you know,
kind
we
of-
need to know that, and it's like,
yeah.
especially if your garage is so close to the road, if somebody pulls up,
No, I
and you
wouldn't,
can't even
yeah.
get out of the road, you know, just park in front of the garage, you know, so we.
Well, it's gonna be a side-load garage,
Yeah, in this
but
case, that's
but
often something we consider. In this case, I wouldn't be looking for that because you're gonna have the,
you still don't want it, I mean, I wouldn't want it 5 feet from the edge of the road.
Right.
I wouldn't care for that myself, but
Yeah.
so if you can ask your architect or surveyor,
I saw the house.
if you can have, or your builder, if you can have somebody come out
This is the
and put
side.
2 big stakes in the ground with good orange on them
And
for where it's gonna be.
so for argument's sake, let
Yeah.
me just, so I can't even like plot, because it's supposed to be the deeded covenant. That we had every intention of this building like 20 feet closer to the lake, and
Right.
this wasn't gonna be an issue. But then
Right.
the deeded covenant said that I have to be 80 feet from the front of the house, or the lake side of the house has to be 80 feet from the edge of the road. So, I mean, I guess,
You're trying to say
how do I
this is
even
in
like,
there. We
I
understand.
mean, this is kind of making it,
We just wanna see,
Harder for-
we wanna see where it's gonna be and make sure it's gonna be safe before we give a variance. We have given variances on that road in the past for people to build a garage
yeah.
closer to the road.
Or
So it's not out of the question.
No, but I mean, this isn't a huge house. I don't know how anybody else would fit their home.
These are all irregular lots that
Very
probably never
small.
should have been built on for year-round homes, but people like the lake.
I mean, I believe ours was a flat roof camp at one point, and then.
All of them were.
All.
Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of I'm looking at your house and I'm kind of guesstimating it's like 60 feet deep. So,
We're on like
house and the
100,
garage,
between 200, and with
like
Link property,
60
that's,
front house is about 60 feet from the edge of the road. Up to the road.
in terms of where the front of our house is.
Yeah, because
I believe the front of the house falls in line because there was remodels and restructures done in 2016 when we had a survey done then, and then we had a survey completed upon the time when we purchased the home. My concern was with the surveys and the shared driveway, as well as the proximity to the garage to the road, with a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old. There's a sharp turn, people like to pick up speed. And that's why we're here. No, I'm not assuming any intent. But that's why we wanted to make sure, because it's very confusing based on these lines
As
and
far as
what
that-
the rules
as far
are,
as
understanding the
this just
terminology
gives you
and the
a
language
visual
that's put
looking
forth. It's confusing to me.
Don't look
So-
at the line.
I also have a concern with the survey, because when they came out and surveyed, the surveys were moved over almost 3 feet. So we called.
Okay.
So we called.
That's, it's fair to say, but that's not our issue.
No, I know. So like you want someone to put stakes and survey, her survey says this, my survey says that. Their surveyor came back, went down and found waymarks, waypoints, whatever you call them, all the way down the road and adjusted everybody's line over. Now people are understanding where they've had tree issues, that trees are actually on their property. Now they want to cut down trees, and they moved from the initial survey where we were 3 feet, they moved it back over now to a foot.
Remember, so here's the thing, when you hire a private surveyor to survey your property, that is your product produced by your surveyor. That is not solid gold. That's not definitive until you take your survey and your neighbor takes their survey and you pay a crap ton of money to an attorney and go in front of a judge, and a judge says definitively, this is the property line.
We don't want to go there.
Right,
It's-
no, but my
it's
point
inches.
is, one surveyor coming through and trying to do readjustments to
Yeah.
understand the bigger picture is entirely a civil matter between the residents, the surveyor, other surveyors, and nothing to do with us. So what we do, we have to go based on the survey that's presented to us. So if a survey is presented to us and they say, this is a survey I have, this is where I want to put things, if the survey is something that we can read and understand where it's going to be and we're comfortable with it, we've made decisions with just a survey before. In this instance, I at least want to see stakes in the ground from either your surveyor, builder, or your architect, so that I know where it's going in relation to the actual road. So I make a motion to table for a month to give them time to do that.
I have one question. How do they know where the actual edge of the road is to do this?
That's up to your surveyor.
Have your surveyor put in 2 stakes with the corner of your garages.
Okay, so I was gonna say, I would assume he knew this because he did all sorts of research
You
around
should've-
town.
You should have, if he had known that you were coming here, and if he thought this was just
He knew
so you
this, yeah.
if you thought it was just so you could build it,
Yeah.
then he produced what you needed. If he knew that you were coming in front of us, it would have been nice if he had put the stakes in the ground for you without you having to tell him to go back and do it.
Yeah,
It's
typically,
possibly he did, I wasn't looking for them. So I
typically
didn't-
what they would do is they put
I did.
2 corner stakes in here, and then they put flags on those. Stakes with
Right.
flags.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
long
And
is the
then
house?
where your garage
Total
would
house,
be,
the
they
garage
put
is 30, but how long is the whole house?
pins,
The
Yeah.
whole house.
you know, little flags.
Right.
You got this.
They put those in there, and then these guys can go out and take a look and
It
say,
probably doesn't tell us.
So I have to wait another
That's
month
what
to
we
get this
gotta see
project
where-
on the road then.
If you're saying this, you're saying it's not.
sorry.
So we have a motion on the floor. Now, Mike, you want to table
Can I
it? Do you
take
want to close? This is where my attorney, do we want to close the public hearing? Can we close the public hearing and then just table it, or should we leave the public hearing open?
You can always reopen it, but if you have no problem leaving it open, that's fine too.
Okay. So I asked the maker of the motion to say that we will leave the public hearing open if he so
Yep.
desires,
Yep.
and then we'll table it.
Yes.
Okay, and do we have a second to the
I
motion?
will second that.
Any questions from the board? All in favor of leaving the public hearing open and tabling this till next month, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, unanimous.
So I have no, like, I get your information,
So-
I have to wait for a month and come back here.
Yes, and what we need from you, and you can help me, Mike, we need to know exactly where the garage is going. You know, we don't really care where the road is, but we need to see where the garage is on your property, okay? How far it's coming to the road. Is it,
And ask your surveyor to put stakes in the ground for the two front corners of that garage.
next to the road?
And call the office here and let them know when it's been done, so
Okay,
that we can go out there and
All right.
take a look.
thanks.
All right, so we do have, 60 days to make a decision. Hopefully next month we can look at it if the marks are put in, and then we can make a decision hopefully next month.
If there was a discrepancy in property lines anywhere, is that?
Discrepancies in property lines.
Supposedly the retaining wall is on my property according to my surveyor.
Those kinds of decisions are litigated in front of a New York State Supreme Court judge.
Okay.
Both parties
with
present
both surveyors.
evidence and
Okay.
the surveyors fight it out.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just
So-
curious.
Okay, so you understand what we need, and as Terry was saying, let the office know when these marks are in, stakes are in, so we can check, okay? Sorry for the inconvenience, but we need to see that.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Or you can do like a lady towards town and try to get the counselor to just declare what your deeds are.
Okay, so
I certainly understand. I really like the way it goes. Yeah.
So we,
I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Should I give you the letters?
I'm not sure if we closed the first public hearing, but do I?
We tabled it.
We tabled both of them, yes. Okay, going back to the first one, Jerry, you have a letter, on the first hearing where the garage.
You all
There-
have,
Actually, no, I do have that. There was a letter from a neighbor that,
Do they have deed restriction covenants?
he was just concerned about how close it was to his property,
The side?
Yeah, the shed,
The shed.
So put the shed in the middle of their property instead?
Yes.
Nice, I like that.
Did you see the letter? You said everybody has a copy of the letter?
Yeah, we got the
Yeah.
letter.
Okay,
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet.
okay.
Originally, they wanted 1 foot,
Now we're up to 3.
and I told them, unless you want to make it out of block for fire resistance, you should go to 3 feet.
How can they even put a shed in the front yard where there's a lake view?
Well, this is actually in the front yard. So that's something
The
that
lake side.
The lakeside.
we gotta look at.
What does our code say about stuff in the front
The,
yard?
the planning board,
Nothing.
There's one
the
at the
planning board
neighbors
basically
next
said go
door,
for it, but
that probably didn't get a
I
building
didn't
permit.
understand why
Maybe
they
it
would.
did.
I thought they added language about the lake side of places. Or is that more the crap that they haven't bothered passing out?
That's the stuff they haven't passed yet.
What,
Let's
when I
pass
was
it for
down
next
through
month.
there was a neighbor
Mike,
out working on his
That
property.
application, the question
directly
is,
next
you give
door.
that back to me, you want
He
to give
was
that back to me?
demanded that he did not want that shed right on the line,
I don't know if I got it.
you know.
Yeah, I
And-
handed it to you.
And I said,
you
well,
gotta fill it
you
out.
should really come, you know, to the meeting tonight and voice your concerns. But as you can see, it didn't come, so.
I asked the lady, why did she want to put it so close to the lot line? And she said, because I would be able to view the lake from my deck.
Well, what about your neighbors?
Well,
That's
yeah,
good.
yeah, here's
Okay.
the other thing, the guy that was really dead set against putting it on that line, he's basically got a fence there made out of firewood all the way down the line.
Trees, yeah,
I
there's
mean,
some
he's
cedars.
made basically an illegal fence, if you will, out of firewood, and he's concerned about this guy having a shed on the lawn. I mean, it's like, come on, guys, you know, play nice. So,
The one next door though, did that get a building permit? Or you don't know, you don't know anything about, okay, good, that's good.
So we got these two for next month. Do we have anything else coming yet? Anything that we should, that's not a whole stack of things, I hope.
Barry, do you wanna talk to him about green?
Down on the lake,
The lake, we never had problems down on the lake.
there was a big parcel that the planning board subdivided last year for Michael Garone. It was the old Willow Road next to Kennesaw Creek.
Right next to the creek.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were involved in that one.
Yeah.
We granted a variance for it.
Correct.
Okay.
A owner has purchased that property and wants to create 3 lots utilizing paper streets
For his road frontage?
for his road frontage.
I don't think we've ever done that before.
Well, you're gonna learn a lot about town law 280A and how it affects subdivisions that have been filed at the county clerk's office and the legality of those streets for road frontage.
Sounds like we need our attorney here.
Sounds like you're getting Mr. Lane next time.
I haven't seen him in forever.
I've been forwarding case law to John all week,
Yeah, and he talked to them today.
Yeah.
Which is good.
but it's a big, they're gonna need area variances for 2 lots, and they're gonna need
Because they're
road,
undersized.
and they're half-acre lots, and they need to have, because of business zone is part of the,
Yeah.
it switches to an LR 40 for single family, which goes to 40,000 square feet instead of 12,000 for the MR 12.
Sounds like it's a planning board issue.
No, it's strictly zoning.
Variances.
He needs variances by the ZBA in order to proceed with his subdivision.
Where's the Oneida Lake Overlay District?
I retired a month early.
North of the Thruway?
one point it was
Yeah, north of the Thruway.
north of the Thruway or north of 31?
No, it's the Thruway. Because I know we've had a couple campgrounds next to the Thruway that people have thought about putting campgrounds in. The marinas,
So that doesn't affect anything to do with residential?
no. That's your tourist boats.
They did something for language about the lake.
I thought so, but
I know they did. I can't find it. There's something because they officially declared, because we always interpreted the lakeside to be the front, but it wasn't codified, and they updated it. And when they updated it so that it's now codified that the lakeside is the front
Oh,
yard.
that's in their code.
Where is that?
That's in the narrative, zoning narrative, under accessory buildings.
Thank you.
Last paragraph.
Page number, chapter number?
No, I don't know.
Has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes?
I wasn't here.
Yes, I will make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, the 3 that were here. Approve the minutes.
Can I- Okay, go ahead, sorry.
No.
The minutes, okay. So, two things. Also, there's a deck, front yard setback on one of the apps. That's the other thing that's on for next month.
And what road?
Madison Ave.
Okay.
And then back to Terry meeting with the man down by, Burlingame.
Yeah,
Mr. Chalupa. That's his name.
okay.
So he's been in and out of here, and then once we knew that Mary Driscoll wasn't coming, John Laney said that people, because it's a public hearing, they could come and talk, we could record it, or they could come back.
Okay.
I had his phone number, and because he was in and out, I told him that's why he's not here.
Oh, okay. All right, because
I
he
just wanted
was,
to clarify
he was
that.
pretty animated
Yeah.
when I was
And he
talking.
even called today to see if there was any change, like if she decided she's gonna show up or whatever. But
Okay,
just to
all right.
clarify that.
okay.
Thank you.
I was doing my diligence.
You did.
Any other business that needs to be brought before this board tonight?
I'm just trying to find the freaking narrative.
It's right here.
It's after the zoning schedule.
It's that page,
Oh, it's after the schedule.
Yeah.
and it's, number 4, under other provisions and requirements.
Waterfronts, there we go.
You wanna read it or?
Let me see what's relevant. So that flops it. Do we have anything that restricts what you can do in the front yard of your house?
Fence?
Right? Fence can't go past the rear corner of the house. Is there anything else that talks about? So it's an accessory structure. So where do we talk about the limitation on accessory structures?
Hasn't the lake always just been sightlines?
We've done that. We've established that for people doing additions or new builds. We've restricted them to the sightlines. It's not in here at all, but that's what we've always done. That's one of the things that we question whether or not to put it in there,
In the code.
whether to codify it, whether to leave the zoning board with the discretion.
Yeah, I know we were talking with the new zoning regs coming next time, or this forthcoming, about the front yard and the gentleman that builds his house 500 feet off the road. He couldn't put a garage out in front at 300 feet, when the setback's only 50 feet.
Because of being in the front yard.
Correct.
But that's not in this code.
Yeah, there's another down here at the bottom too. You see that one, Mike? I mean, it's just, it was there, but
It's just saying that it's the front yard's back, and that's why I'm saying, if we have anything that says accessory buildings can't go in the front yard, then we got enough, then,
But it says that they're not exceeding 150 square feet in rear yards shall be a minimum of 5 feet. Doesn't say anything about front yards.
Correct.
It just says rear yards. The lake does that. That's not a rear yard of the lake. So
but is the reason that it doesn't say anything about the front yard because it's expected that you can't put accessory buildings in the front yard? Because you
right
have-
on Barrett Lane.
If this is the front yard setback,
Isn't that going to be tough to justify when she's got a picture of her neighbor with?
did her neighbor have a permit?
two wrongs
Well,
don't make it right. Absolutely not.
Was the neighbor permitted for it? I never saw it.
I don't think.
I don't know
there
if they,
probably was no permit. Nothing. Who
is there a
knows?
permit for the brand new shed that's on the neighbor's parcel 2 houses down
Where are we talking?
that somebody gave us pictures of?
You're talking on Burlingame?
Yeah, are there any recent for an MR12?
I will look at my computer. Okay, just hang on to them for a minute.
She got the 30-foot setback, no problem, because it's like 200 feet. And she's like 40-foot setback, because you don't want to be too close to the lake because of the flood.
I didn't see that, that's.
I'm surprised DEC doesn't have rules about how close you can put something like that to the lake. You didn't see this?
No.
That's the neighbor.
No kidding.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Yeah, like
Wow.
Looks pretty new.
See how their deck is up so high,
Yeah.
they look right over the top of it. I can't believe the neighbors.
Oh, I
didn't
think
stand for it.
that shed, now I know what that, I remember that shed. They had a shed there and it blew down and a tree
They
took it out.
replaced it?
You said it was grandfathered in, is
Okay.
what you're saying.
Right.
Grandfather non-conforming use. Sweet.
Yeah, the only thing in our E-code says that you cannot put a wind energy
A windmill.
windmill
Okay.
between the shoreline and the principal residence on the lake.
So you could put it in your backyard, which is the roadside.
Right.
That's scary.
But you can't put it in the, between your house and the lake.
Right.
But there's nothing else in our code concerning principal residence. But there, in the upcoming code, that was in there, that you couldn't build an accessory structure in the front yard,
Mm-hmm.
beyond the front setback of the principal structure. And then Frank and I and Phil were discussing that. What about the gazebo at the shoreline?
Mm-hmm.
No gazebos. No gazebos.
And then we thought maybe we just make it a variance if you want to put a building up, a gazebo, a boathouse, all those types of structures that are on a lake.
We pride ourselves in not having boathouses because we're so flat that you can't see over.
Well,
It's not like you're in the Thousand Islands where you got a rocket
There's
There's
charge.
quite a few boathouses on the water.
They've been there for a while.
Yeah, they're not in the greatest shape.
You won't get a new one built down there.
That's what I'm saying, you can't.
All right, any other business? I'm looking for motion to adjourn the meeting.
There was a permit for 2671 Burlingame on.
Yeah,
2020.
we showed him a picture and he said, oh, they put it, they were replacing one that fell down.
I think that was the one that the tree went through it, remember, the old people?
It was Michael Stalla.
Like who?
Stalla. I don't think he's old. But anyways, that's what I had.
Thank you.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting's adjourned.
Who seconded? Please.
I did.
Thank you.